Allow me a couple of moments to introduce our next presentation. It's about that time every single year that we come together and we start to talk about the work that's being done with our strategic plan. Before we go forward, I want to take a step back. I know I've said this a number of times, but it's worth repeating, is to give the historical perspective of our strategic plan. So back in 2019, we came together and we started to talk about where the different schools were going. We have 6 schools in the district. They all work extremely hard. And at each school, each individual school starts to develop plans. They come together, they work with their teachers, and they accomplish their goals. But what we noticed was it was splintering. And what we needed to do was bring everyone together to really work towards a common goal. In order to develop our strategic plan, we were able to engage a number of stakeholders. We held a number of meetings. We brought our community members together, our teachers, our administrators. We spoke to our students, and we started to identify themes within those discussions, and that was our springboard into creating the Mahwah Blueprint. When we developed the Mahwah Blueprint, what we were committed to was to come together and give a report twice a year to our community to share the work that's being done. It's really important to not just build the plan, but to make it relevant and guide our practice year after year. So in order to do that, in order to showcase the work to not only our community, but to our teachers and our administrators, we developed a page that spoke about the progress, and we were able to monitor our progress. So what Dr. Fair is going to do is he's going to bring up, this is housed on our website, and as you can see, you can see the 4 frames that we identified: facilities, curriculum instruction, social emotional learning, and community connections. And within each of those frames, we have goals. Dr. Fair, if you can click on curriculum and instruction, or facilities. On curriculum and instruction, when you click on that page, you'll see the different goals that we have established. And you also see our progress monitoring bar, which will be discussed as we talk about the work within each of the frames. But if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there are 2 important documents that I want to bring your attention to. The document on the right, which you have a copy of, our Board of Education has a copy of, is really our vision statement. So back in 2020, we developed our goals, and what we wanted to do is we wanted to identify what will this look like by the time that we're done? What are we shooting for? And then from those goals, we were going to unpack them and start to be strategic and break them out into yearly goals. So you have a copy of that at your place right now. The second tab that is on the left, when you click on it, you'll see all the work that has been done from 2020 till 2024. So when you go to the initial page, you'll see these progress bars, but a lot of people are going to say, well, what was done to get to that place? Within this document, you'll see all the work that's been done from 2020 to 2024. That leads me to my last conversation piece, is what's next. So as we discuss all of our work today, which I'm extremely proud of, it took everybody in this district to accomplish all the things that you're about to hear about. We have to start to think about what's our blueprint 2.0. Next year, we're going to come together. We're going to do the same process of listening to our constituents, hearing what's going well, identifying our points of growth, and bringing it all together and identifying themes and creating goals accordingly. And that's what's going to allow us all to be rowing in the same direction. No longer are we going to be creating goals and going left and right and splintering. It's really going to be important and powerful for all of us to work together in order to attain the goals that we have. And it's my hope that you're able to appreciate the work that's taken place. We're going to shift it a little bit. Usually we go year by year or January to June. This is our work. Being that this is our 4th year of our strategic plan, Dr. Fair, Dr. Pavino, and Ms. Rizzo, as well as Mr. Bleeker, are going to talk about the work that we have done from 2020 to 2024, because what I want us to start to do is frame what's next. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. I'm going to speak about the facilities section of the strategic plan. Our goals are listed here. These are the goals that we've mentioned and highlighted before. As I go through each goal individually. We'll also highlight them. As Dr. Totoro had mentioned, as this slideshow is presented on our website later, going here, you can click on the hyperlink that will take you directly to the website portion that Dr. Totoro had highlighted a short time ago. Goal number 1 for facilities was to regularly evaluate our learning spaces to ensure that they're flexible enough for our needs. This goal I've always referenced as we've gone through it as information gathering, and the goal that takes information, takes data that we find through various resources, and learns from that how we can apply and how we can achieve this goal. So some of the things that we've done is we've completed our facility audit. We did this right at the start of the strategic plan process about 5 years ago. At last month's board meeting, or the board meeting earlier this month, we approved a resolution to have a new facility audit done, to refresh the one that was done several years ago. That'll be a nice framework for us to look at going forward. Other things that have been done is we've taken a look at our infrastructure at various areas of it, our Wi-Fi infrastructure, paving, HVAC, vehicle roofing replacement, and created schedules to maintain and to plan for going forward. We've also increased and had strategic and specific meetings throughout the course of the year with various stakeholders to discuss areas to evaluate and areas to improve upon for next year. In the top right, we have our goal. We have the progress bar that Dr. Totoro mentioned. For this goal, we value this as 85% complete to date. And in the bottom right for next year, as mentioned a short time ago, we're looking to update that facility audit and also to upgrade security system. This will bring us some consistency throughout the district. For goal number 2, regularly update innovative learning spaces. On the left-hand side are various different projects that we have completed over the last couple of years since we started the strategic plan. Goals and projects that have been done that coincide with this goal include refreshing and enhancing outdoor classrooms and courtyards. The work that we did at Joyce Kilmer School for the Innovation Lab, that is a nice counter to, or a nice tie-in with our STEAM lab that we have at the high school, the STEAM edition that we did several years ago. LED lighting throughout all the classrooms, and continued expansion of our one-to-one computers for our students throughout the district. Also to update innovative learning spaces at our wood shop at our high school, finding a location that was appropriate for a CNC machine so they can add to the projects that they can do there. For goal number 2, we value this as 90% complete. And for next year, some of the projects that we're looking to do is to have a rollout of interactive boards in some of the schools at the K-5 levels. Continue to finish up a project at George Washington School for HVAC electrical, and continued expansion of technology at grades K through 5. Goal number 3, identifying outdated and underutilized spaces. So this, again, we're going to go back to our facility audit as something that was done previously to help us in accomplishing this goal. We've also had intentional meetings throughout the years with administration, with board members, as we discuss various different projects and various different specific elements of each school and what can be done to work towards this goal. ADA needs were approved at Betsy Ross and Joyce Kilmer School. Also, our grandstand and track, specifically our grandstand replacement that was done last summer, that has improved ADA accessibility for that area of the school for any spectators or fans or students who want to attend and visit that area. And for this goal, we also value similar to goal 2 at 90% complete. And some of the items for next year that we have planned that tie into this goal is a transition of the K-3 self-contained to Limpy Meadows, and continued development and maintenance of our priority list of specific school needs. And then goal 4, allocate funds yearly to ensure the safety of all staff and students. Over the course of the years, and I mentioned this before in goal 1, but it's also applicable here as well, is our development of replacement schedules for various parts of our infrastructure systems. Those meetings with principals throughout the year to identify any specific needs. And creation of the maintenance reserve account, that's another one to highlight. A new source of funding that when we started the strategic plan we did not have. It was created at the beginning of the strategic plan process, was opening up that account, establishing it, and funding it as another funding reserve to allocate funds and to accomplish any of the goals and the projects that we have. This goal, for goal number 4, we also identified this as being 90% complete. And for next year, some things that we have scheduled that align to this goal is refreshing the facility audit that we had mentioned previously, and allowing us to begin to project and plan for projects in the 25-26 year and beyond. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kyle.
Sorry for the delay. It's good, Linda, I can see. Yeah, I'll put it to the keyboard. It's all right, darling. Thank you for the accommodation. I appreciate it so much. I'm here tonight to cap some of our social emotional learning experiences relative to the blueprint. Obviously, our goals are here, and they'll be restated slide by slide. Our first goal is to regularly evaluate social emotional student health and wellness curricular offerings and experiences. And some of the highlights from this slide I'd like to share with you is that we created a responsive classroom K2 and 3-5 curriculum. We found this to be obviously necessary for CUSAC. Won't be the first time you hear that tonight. And certainly because it helps to facilitate for us a cohesive dialogue around responsive classroom and keep that initiative alive as we bring new faculty into the district. Additionally, one of the other items I'd like to highlight in the list on the left is that the SEL coaches are creating the SEL handbook for teachers, a resource guide with various experiences and ideas. And in our prior presentation, I talked about obviously the generosity of the board to see to it that within each of our buildings we have at least 2 SEL coaches who are given that position and are working towards that relative to all of the initiatives around SEL, and in particular within the building. As you'll see, the last bullet, Mindful March, is literally run and executed by our SEL coaches. We've determined our success at this goal to be at 75%. On the right-hand side, the one bullet that we are actively working on right now is creating with the guidance department, not for this year, but for next year because their survey already went out, a survey in which the high school already does a post-experience survey. We're going to be adding some questions relative to SEL to that population. Our second goal is cultivate a learning environment that creates empathetic learners, appreciative of our diverse community, and communities at large, are eager to understand the individual experiences of their peers, and recognize the value of human rights of all people. And some of the activities I want to highlight on the left is long coming, and previously known as Harmony Day, is our International Day, which we celebrated in grades 6 through 12 at the high school. Our goal is to obviously include JK the following year, and at one point get to a district-wide international experience. Additionally, we have expanded our school calendar that was created by Dr. DeToro and the central office team to embrace perhaps holidays that hadn't otherwise been embraced by our calendar before, which is certainly a celebration of our unique cultures. An item that on the left we are very proud of and is in the making is the Habitat for Humanity goal to essentially build a house for a local family. You'll hear more about that, so I won't dwell on it, but it is certainly one that we are very proud of, and as is the competitive nature of Dr. DeTore and Dr. Fair, we will build that house. We certainly use the CASEL competencies in all that we do with our students and staff. So again, SEL is not something random that Dr. Bovino and I have pulled out of the air, but in fact there are competencies that are also acknowledged by the Department of Ed relative to that. And we awarded ourselves 85 points relative to our success there. And we just at lunch today finalized how we are going to create a Thunderbird partnership in which our youth will be identifying themselves as potential Thunderbird partners in which to trickle down their knowledge to our other students in the district. And we are also talking about, on another slide, I won't preempt it a little bit, but parents are going to have their turn to help parents as well. Goal 3 is to create programs and provide tools for parents and resources needed to support their children both socially and emotionally. And I'm always gonna, and I'm never gonna rest and plug the Parent Academy so that Dr. Bovino and I can have friends on screen with us, and our goal is always to do greater than 40 participants. So we certainly have SEL presentations. You can go to Dr. Bovino's website and view those because we have the luxury of recording them through the means in which we do it. Propio and Talking Points are applications in which we are able to communicate with our MLL families. And I believe that that inclusive opportunity this year has broadened experiences for parents and students. And this year we also developed a document in which our guidance staff and our therapeutic team can provide parents with resources and information basically at the search of our website. So we're really pleased to have that as an offering. We've achieved 75% of our goal. And as I said earlier, we're looking to create a parent-for-parent or a parent-for-parent Thunderbird partnership in which parents who have skills and wish to share them with other parents, we can do that as well. Again, created at lunch today. That's advanced planning if you ask me. Goal 4, build a K-12 social emotional learning curriculum through support of a comprehensive school counseling program and complementing SEL program with unified language, consistent practices, and level appropriate structures. Obviously, I spoke about the curriculum, but here, obviously, I want to highlight again the generosity of the board that we have our elementary counselors in place. And I can't overemphasize how much the K-5 continuum of care for social emotional experiences exists for our students. And of course, our 6 through 12 has always been there, but has certainly been bolstered through the vision of our strategic plan. And we believe in and want to continue to connect with the community's access for all, and we hope to be able to broaden that experience as well. We believe we've reached 90% of our goal here, and these were very lofty on the right when I created them. Maybe someone should have told me to simmer down, but I'm not going to stop. And I'm going to say that one of the things I really want to work on, obviously, is creating a drop-in center experience for our community, and certainly conducting annual screening of student resiliency and grit, along with our NJTSS Student Support Service initiative as well. So that is to come as well. And lastly, our 5th goal, 100% completed, was to establish explicit yearly professional development opportunities for staff as it relates to social emotional development and challenges that may occur in their classroom in teaching a group of students with diverse backgrounds and needs. We all know the wealth of PD experiences our teachers have both in and out of the district. Some of the highlight is certainly the last bullet, in which we are leaning and almost there of creating our own internal training. And this was a commitment we made to the board in which we said, thank you so much for the generosity of funding a consultant. We took everything that we could from our consultant, and in the infinite wisdom of Mahwah staff, we are ready to fly on our own and create an opportunity in which we will have a Mahwah SEL certificate based on experiences for our faculty. So that is all with our strategic plan for SEL.
All right. Ready to fly on our own. Okay.
I don't know how I follow that. Remember they're flying.
All right, good evening, everybody.
Where's that script episode?
I don't have one of those. All right, so we're going to talk about curriculum and instruction. I'm not going to go over each bullet with you. You've heard these before, and you know what they are. Back to this link, the 2020, I will go over them on each slide. This is the vision statements that we had, which Dr. Truro talked about, so you can see what's there. But we're going to talk through them. There's a lot of information on all of these slides, so I'm going to attempt to highlight a couple for you as opposed to going through all of them. The first goal really has to do with updating our curriculum and ensuring that our curriculum is well balanced and that we're always monitoring it. We did that. So we went through the QSAC process.
Done.
Yes, we did that. Check, it is over. So I can't officially tell you where we are, but I will tell you they were happy when they left, and we are happy that they did leave with smiles. But through this process, we were able to update our curriculum where we needed to, but it really gave us an insight as to where there were holes in our curriculum development. So we're going to be working on that. So we're not fully there. We have our points at 90%. The next things that we're going to do really have to do with understanding how to create a well-rounded curriculum with an evaluation process of that curriculum. So that's on that left-hand side, or the right-hand side for you. The other thing I want to highlight here is NJTSS. We talk about this a lot. We talk about it usually with data. But what NJTSS did for us in terms of curriculum development is it gave us an insight into where our curricular holes were. So we found through our data analysis that we were able to fill in units and mini units in courses like Algebra 1 or our foundations courses at the middle school. So NJTSS should be highlighted here for the reasons of updating curriculum. For goal 2, this really talks about how we create opportunities for our students to be global thinkers and be supportive to society at large. So there's one thing up there, Habitat for Humanity. My colleague already mentioned this, but we are building a house. It is not here in Mahwah, but it is in Oradell. And we're really excited because we have enough money for sheetrock. And I think, is it lighting?
Not yet.
It was more than sheetrock.
Yeah, some electric.
I think some electric. We can have plugs. We can have plugs. Plugs and sheetrock. So we would love to continue this. But the important piece here is that it came from our kids. Habitat Humanity as a club, and Sarah Gazinski actually is the club leader for our students. They were the ones who thought of this and who said they wanted to do it. Another really important thing is, has anybody been to Center for Food Action recently? So when you walk in, you're going to see a beautiful mural. That came from our Ramlico Ridge GMT students. They actually partnered with Center for Food Action, and they developed a beautiful mural. These are all examples of how our kids go out into the community and help others. And we want to continue that. We are only at 70% here. And we are looking to do a day of good. So how can we expand this to our whole district? How can we create a day of service for everybody? Okay, goal 3. All of these words mean professional development. So in our professional development, what we provide to all of our district is we have individual professional development, we have January professional development. We have something new this year, it's called micro PDs, so we send those out. And obviously we have the ability to send our teachers and staff anywhere they would like to go as long as it aligns with what they're doing. The next step for us though with PD, because we have ourselves at 75% here, is a Ludo. A Ludo is a PD hub where you can have anytime learning on topics that you are interested in. And this is something you actually approved, so it is coming soon. We wanted to put a little sign there that said coming soon, but this is going to get us over that threshold. Okay, number 4. This really focuses on authentic learning, problem-based learning, and this was the start of the Thunderbird partnership. So we have to give ourselves a pat on the back. If we just said those 2 words, it would take up this whole slide. And we are at 100%. We're really, really excited. There are a bunch of other things that our kids are doing and our staff are doing, but that's our major highlight is that Thunderbird Partnership Program. Another thing we wanted to highlight is the DECA enrollment. Our DECA enrollment went from 49 students to 78 students. This is amazing. This means that our kids want to get out there and experience things beyond just that classroom, which is really, really important for us. I feel as if we should have like balloons.
Say ta-da.
Yeah, ta-da. 100%. All right, and number 5. Last but not least, this is our commitment to offering post-secondary and organizational commitments. So we created a dual enrollment program a while ago, but we've expanded it. We actually have 7 universities that partner with us now. We have 24 courses where students can receive dual enrollment. And we partner with over 4 different trade schools, which is amazing. So that that alone for our kids is just a wonderful opportunity for them. The other thing here is our internship and externship program, and I'm not going to take the thunder away from Dr. Pear, because he's going to talk a little bit about that. But again, a huge opportunity for our kids. Next is micro-credentials. So coming soon. We have badging this year for pathways on our transcripts, but the next goal for next year is micro-credentials. All right. Community connections.
Thank you, Dr.
All right, so as Dr. Puvino already inferred, there is some overlap with community connections, obviously with each of the other three frames. So the fourth frame of our strategic plan centers on these community connections, and our goals are listed on this slide. Our hashtag Mahwah Connects theme that we created several years ago has actually stuck over time, and it certainly encapsulates these goals on the following slides. I will review and showcase our great progress along with the work that we've done over the past 4 years of our strategic plan implementation. So on this slide, goal 1 speaks to our internships, externships, and mentorship opportunities for our students. And based on our progress thus far, we believe that we are 85% complete with this particular goal. On the left-hand side, you'll see a list of what we believe to be the achievements towards this goal already. And on the right-hand side of each slide is work that we believe still has to be done. So we've obviously grown with our Thunderbird partnership program. We've talked a lot about it over the last few years with almost weekly visits by local experts. We're also really proud of our Career Pathways program, which we've showcased at several board meetings, with our middle school program exposing our students to the range of pathways before them at Mahwah High School, and we have a list of those career pathways below. We piloted our internship and externship program during the summer of 2023 at Mahwah High School, with significant expansion in program and participation amongst our students. So last summer we had approximately 15 participants in our internship externship program, and currently in preparation for this upcoming summer, we have a little over 40 students will be participating, which is really exciting. What we plan on doing in achieving this goal in our final year of our strategic plan implementation is found on the right-hand side of the slide. So we look to continue to expand our Thunderbird partnerships to include a wider range of potential offerings. So exploring all types of contributions by our local experts, so experts in the classroom, professionals supporting professionals, community service partners, jobs in action, and find your passion. We look to continue to expand our internship and externship programs, and also to take a closer look at capstone opportunities for our seniors to culminate our seniors' career pathways trajectory. Our second goal focuses on the development of a program that supports guides and informs our new families in our district. We believe that currently we're at 85% of completion towards this goal. So we have worked hard to convey information to our new families on a more consistent basis. But you'll see on the right-hand side, we're working towards creating a system where once we learn a new family in our district, we have something that is automatic where we provide information to our new families related to programs and anything community related. We have increased the district's intentional branding, highlighting the many achievements of our program. So there have been some award recognition with Future Ready Schools from the International Technology and Engineering Education Association. We have an application in for School of Character. We've, as a central office team, we've done statewide presentations on our Thunderbird Partnership Program. We've written and published local and national articles in Educational Viewpoints, which is a New Jersey-based publication, as well as School Administrator Magazine, which is national. And we've been able to, been highlighted with U.S. News and World Reports for our Mahwah High School and Rampart Ridge Middle School as schools of excellence. We've recently engaged with Laura Bishop Communications Consultants to audit our communication practices and provide district-wide recommendations for our strategy forward. Some press releases that have been written and collaborated with this consultant have been topics related to our GEMS Evening Showcase, which is Girls in Engineering, Math, and the Sciences. Also highlighting our mock trial successes, as well as our Habitat for Humanity work. On the right-hand side, in our final year of our strategic plan, we're looking to obviously continue our work in building those systems towards communication with our new families, and continue our work in partnering with our schools' HSOs to propel this work forward. Our third goal centers on engaging local experts to expand our students' exposure to career education. We're almost there. We're currently, we believe, at 95% completion towards this goal. On the left-hand side, you'll see that our Career Pathways program obviously provides opportunities for our students, with our work beginning in middle school as a purposeful precursor for our middle schoolers into our program. We've also increased branding for the district, as I discussed in the previous slide. And we look to concentrate our efforts on providing our secondary students with expansive career fair opportunities. So similar to all the other fairs we've included over the last year or so related to volunteers and club fairs, we also are looking at building in career fair opportunities. Just today, we actually had an alternative to four-year college fair for our students, which include representation from trade and technical schools. So we're super excited about that as well. And lastly, our fourth goal looks to explore how our school supports our diverse population. We believe that we've achieved 85% of our goal thus far. With support by our board, we've engaged in our inclusivity audit across the district. We've also connected with our multilingual families more regularly through our Talking Points application. Over the years, we have increased our dual enrollment course offerings, as Dr. Bovino had mentioned, and we've had intentional opportunities for student partnerships, which have grown across the district. So through thoughtful transition experiences we've had as students move up from third grade to the new building of JK and transitioning into our middle school and high school, we've had really thoughtful work done by our building principals to engage in making that transition a smooth one for our kids. Our Habitat for Humanity Club has connected with our students beyond just community service work, but through tutoring opportunities and through social connections as well, which has been really important. Our parent academies have addressed a range of timely and relevant themes to our district families of all grade levels as well. And moving forward on the right, you can see that although our dual enrollment program is really robust, we're looking to always ever improve that work and to continue to build and sustain our trade school partnerships to expand those opportunities for those students who wish to follow that path post-Mahwah High School.
Thank you. Thank you. So just to summarize. It's funny because when we talk as a team, and I know it takes a little bit of time to get through the presentation, I say this all the time, this is one of my favorite meetings of the year because it gives us an opportunity to take a step back and reflect on what's currently taking place. And if you listen to each of the presenters, there were points of pride that we talked about. There's a lot of great work that's happening all across facilities and curriculum and SEL and community connections, but there's also the next goal. Because it's something that we're constantly going to be committed to. We can celebrate, we can be proud, but we also don't want to rest on our laurels. We know that there's opportunities to continue to grow. We know that there's opportunities to identify things for us to make a little bit better, or just shift and change. It all depends on what we see as we go on. Each and every frame, it talks about assessing. And I think that's the most effective way for us to look at our status as a district, our status curricularly, our status facilities-wise, our status specific to making sure that we're giving our students the tools to navigate the social terrain, and also our status of, are we opening up our doors and welcoming in our community? So this is something I'm extremely proud of. It's through the hard work of our administrators at the school building. They have worked tirelessly to make sure that our schools are going in the right direction. It's the work of our staff that are constantly committed to doing right by kids. And I definitely want to take a moment to thank the board, because you have been very generous and very committed to this work. And all of those reasons are the reasons why we're here today. So I just want to take a moment to thank everyone who's been involved, because our work's not done, but sometimes it's great to take a step back and say, well, what have we done to this point? So are there any questions?
Not so much a question as a comment. I think that everybody, I mean, you guys, central office, administrators, teachers, all the way, right down the line, really should be proud of the work that, that we're doing here. I think that it's rigorous. It is a lot of work. It's not easy work. It sets a very high bar. And the fact that kind of everybody's in the boat, so to speak, is really a huge accomplishment, because it is a lot of work, and it's, our students and our community deserve no less. So I'm proud, to sit and listen to you guys talk about this stuff. I mean, there's obvious pride in the presentations, and you guys are doing a fantastic job. And I think it's just fantastic. It's great.
I'm just going to go back to, at the time we hired Dr. DeToro to be our superintendent, a lot of us did research on the other candidates who were applying for the job. And one of the things was, the candidates often talk about, oh, I was involved in strategic planning. But if you went to the websites of the places that they worked, you'll find that those strategic plans were on a shelf. They were not updated. They were not part of the regular living catalyst for what the district does. Mahwah and the leadership team here has really taken the strategic planning process seriously, and you can see it by the work that's done every year. It's comprehensive. It is in every corner of our district, in big ways and little ways. It's a real. It has dramatically focused our efforts on continuous improvement for the student experience, if I had to summarize everything. And we have a long way, we have ways to go, and we've come a long way, and as Rick said, we have a lot to be proud of, but as is all the things on the right frame, is we still have work to do, and you guys are still enthusiastic about doing it, which is very important. So I want to thank everyone for all their contributions to the accomplishments that have been achieved, and I look forward to the accomplishments that we will set out to do in the future. And I look forward to getting the community involved in the next phase.
I could also add, being someone who sat in the room December 2019 as a parent to provide input with a child in second grade, this was a really great opportunity to see this all come around. There's really truly community input, teacher influence, as well as your direction, and that comes together through partnership and being open to that feedback. So I really want to thank you all for continuing to update us, because while there's the check the box moment that you filled the goal, there's also that this is important and you want to get it right. So I think that's really apparent in the way you've delivered your presentations and the way the parents are engaged. So I think there's a lot here where you go from here, and where we can continue to challenge so we can deliver the best for the kids, and you can see that in your intention. So thank you.